Hello, friends. Welcome to Heidi's Colorful Colorado. I'm your host, Heidi, a wife, mom of four, CU Regent, and the founder of Camp Bow Wow and the She Factor. With a passion for keeping the spirit of our state alive and well, I started this podcast to bring the people of Colorado together to celebrate the amazing state we call home. Come along on this journey with me as I travel across our old country roads in my vintage RV, interviewing folks that embody the true spirit of the Rocky Mountains. From the Front Range to the mile-high city to the Wild West of Southern Colorado, we'll celebrate the history, beauty, and Coloradans that make this place the colorful state it is. Each week, you'll meet people trailblazing the way for an even more colorful future for us all, making a huge difference along the way. Are you ready for a Rocky Mountain ride? Let's do this, Colorado. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heidi's Colorful Colorado. I'm really excited for you to meet a friend, a new friend, and someone who makes such a big difference in our community. Papa Dia, welcome to Heidi's Colorful Colorado.
Heidi, thank you so much for having me. It's truly an honor to have you in our building talking to your followers, so thank you.
Well, I am excited to hear all about the African Leadership Group, which you founded and you are the executive director of.
Yes.
But first, I want to hear a little bit about your journey to America and how you, just tell us about that.
Yes, thank you so much again for having me. So I'm originally from West Africa, Senegal. Mm-hmm. It's a French-speaking country, French colony, and growing up, so you have to speak a native language and go to school to learn French. So I grew up from a large family, actually. My mom have 13 kids. My dad has 25.
Oh, my gosh. So, I can't even handle 4.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So it was a soccer team plus Serbs. So grew up playing soccer. That's probably one of the things that I did growing up. And I came to the U.S. in 1998. Mm-hmm. And what led me to the United States is just the same reason as most immigrants, to come here, seek opportunity to support the family we left behind. I grew up from a very humbling background, literally chasing my next meal. So eating was a luxury. So when I came here, my responsibility was to work, make money, send money home so we can really afford to eat.
Papa Dia, how did they select, why did your family send you? Or were any of your brothers and sisters, did they come with you?
Yeah, actually, I had a sister that was already here, living on the East Coast. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much, and literally everybody grew up seeking opportunity to travel to the U.S. So it's a land of opportunity, and it was the dream almost for everybody. So, our family, just making ends meet there was extremely difficult. We were all looking for ways to just travel and have opportunity somehow to support the family. So what led me to Colorado, I came to Colorado to visit around July. It was beautiful. I went to Washington Park and started playing soccer and thought the weather was going to be that nice all year long. And when winter came, it was a different story. But yes, I've been here for 23 years, and this is home now, and love it.
So my parents actually helped launch soccer in Colorado. We moved from Southern California when I was little, and I wanted to keep playing, and there was no soccer here. So my mom and dad started American Youth Soccer Organization down in Monument, and we played on a dirt field and, just scrapped it together. But it was a wonderful journey, and now, gosh, we've got soccer all over the place.
Yes.
Although out of my 4 kids, I have a hard, none of them wanted to play, and I was like, that's the only sport I really know. So finally my little girl's playing, but it's a great sport.
It's a great sport, yes.
It's going to be fun to watch the Olympics and see how things go. I won't bring up the girls' soccer team. We won't talk about that, but hopefully things will go better.
Yeah, hopefully things will get better. But it's a very popular sport in the U.S. now, and there's a lot of good soccer team, and people are embracing it more. And I'm a big fan of Liverpool, obviously, because there's Senegalese players, Sadio Mane, that play over there doing outstanding. So I follow the English Premier League closely.
Well, and you speak excellent English. How hard was it? I know that was part of your journey, learning the language, and it sounds like you went to law school, and that's where things started to get a little unsure.
Yes. I went to law school back home, and when I came over here, I didn't speak English, but I was very lucky to land what I can call now an amazing job. Back then, I was not sure about it because I was making $5.25. But my first job, I was working at Tattered Cover Bookstore, stocking books. And I used that opportunity to learn how to read, write, and speak English. It was just an amazing place. And today, 23 years later, so I sit on the board at the bookstore that gave me everything, and it's just an amazing journey. And I'm truly blessed to be able to sit as the board of director at the Tattered Cover Bookstore with the new owner that they have, and it's just humbling for me to be able to share the story, the place that taught me how to read and write, and going back to serve that bookstore and the community is just humbling.
Tattered Cover is such a legendary place in Colorado. For you to land there and that to have such an important part of your journey is really special. That's heartwarming. And gosh, I've always wondered what it would be like to spend like a night alone in a bookstore like that or a library and just, envelop yourself in all the books and the different things that are in those stores. And it's such a beautiful place. And it's got such a neat history to it.
That is true. And honestly, I'm truly blessed to spend the time that I spent over there. I had access to book, but most importantly, I had access to amazing human beings, some professors, some students. They were very, very patient, actually, because the honest truth is people were having a hard time to understand me because of my thick accent, but they were very, very patient and nice. So today, everything I managed to do in this country started at that beautiful venue and beautiful place with amazing people.
Do you remember the first book that really made an impact on you that you read in English?
Yes, the first book that I tried to read in English was The Secret.
Oh my
by
goodness.
Rhonda Burns. So because everybody was talking, I was always in depth into the law of attraction, and that was the first book that I tried very hard to understand and grasp and know exactly what it said. But that was the first book that I read that transformed my life, because I'm a firm believer of the law of attraction.
Boy, I'm right there with you, and I think really the power of your mind and your word. I love the book, The Four Agreements, also. I don't know if you've read that, but it's pretty simple and pretty small. But one of the four agreements is your word is impeccable. And I think that's part of the secret, right? Is what you put out there into the world, into the universe, is what you attract.
That is true. That is true. And today, that's something that with our public speaking class that we really implement and teach the student. Another book that's very popular around here in Think and Grow Rich by Dr. Napoleon Hill.
Yes.
And it's just powerful when you switch the way you see things and the way you think about things, you can switch and transform your entire universe, including your life.
Yeah, and it's amazing how many people try and knock you off that path. Like the negative arrows just kind of come, and if you, as my husband says, you put your bulletproof vest on, and for the thoughts and the mind and the heart and the soul, and really just stay firm with what you believe and what you want and what you desire, and doing the right thing for that. I think it's usually pretty effective.
It is, and to all our viewers, and I really I'm asking everybody to pay attention to their brain, their mind, the power that it has. And sometimes the outside universe will always have a tendency to try to control us. But if you stay focused on choosing to see positivity and greatness, inspired to be the best person you can be, I guarantee you it's going to work.
Well, it certainly worked for you, Papa Diaz. So I want to hear a little bit about why you started the leadership group and what you're up to now.
Yes, and after I started working at the Tattered Cover Bookstore, because all my life growing up, I was always begging and praying for an opportunity. That's what I always ask for, because I grew up in an environment where it was just challenging. We were very poor, but I did not realize how poor we were because everybody around us was as poor as we were. But when I graduated from high school and went to college, and it was at the capital, Dakar, that's when I start seeing nice cars, nice houses, people wearing nice attire. That's when I really start making the comparison to realize that exactly we were poor. So when I had the chance to come here, and I said, this is amazing that for me to be at a place working and making $5.25, when I converted into the currency back home, it was a lot, because I was able to send money and we were able to have lunch, dinner, because it was always around being able to eat, because it was truly a luxury. But when opportunities start presenting in front of me, I was jumping on it and really grasping it. So after spending a year and a half at Tattered Cover Bookstore, when my English was a little bit better, I landed another job at Wells Fargo Bank, and it was Norwest back then as a teller. Again, I was very excited because I went from $5.25 to $8.75, and the bank really became my school. I learned everything, and starting as a teller all the way becoming a vice president in the banking industry, personal banker, branch manager, pretty much done everything on the retail side of the bank. And while I was there also, I was really helping a lot of African immigrants to open their bank account, to get their car loan. And that's how the journey of the African Leadership Group started.
That's fantastic. And I think back to making $5 an hour, $8 an hour, and you're sending money back to your family. How did you manage that?
Yeah, and a lot of other African immigrants can relate to the story because it's the common theme for all of us. We come here not just for ourselves. And in our culture, in our tradition, whatever you have to share it. You have to share it with your family. You have to share it with your community. And if you get $100, I can guarantee you 60 or 70% of that income goes back home. And for us, it's okay. Because for us, we are never comfortable to live comfortably here, knowing that my mom, my dad, my brother are struggling back home. So even though it was hard, but for us, we were very proud doing it because that's the thing that you look forward making happen in your entire life. So I was comfortable. I was excited just being able to impact and send money home, knowing that people were okay and having lunch, pretty much.
And so while you were helping the other immigrants, it seems like you formalized that through creating the African Leadership Group. When did you do that, or what made you decide to kind of create the actual organization?
Yes. So what happened is when I was at the bank and community members start coming and I start helping them open their bank account, start getting their first car loan, they will go out and tell other immigrants, we have a brother that, understand us, that speak our language. So next thing you know, I'll have 20 to 30 members of the community that will come every day at the bank.
20 to 30 a day?
Yes, like wait in the bank lobby, and people will bring translation paper, people will bring immigration issue. So I was doing a lot of social work while I was working at the bank. But it was great because it was allowing me to meet all my sales goal and exceeding it. But I would sit down with somebody for 2 or 3 hours. And obviously, it started becoming a concern and an issue at the bank. So they wanted me to literally stop it. But I knew how vital and important it was to have somebody that you could relate to, that understood you, that could help you. So I was not comfortable just sending them away, telling them I cannot help you. I said, let me start looking around to see if I could find any organization that I could refer them to. So back then, the only thing I could find was what we called refugee resettlement, meaning you have to come here as a refugee to qualify for the service, and they only help you for 8 months. And they help you around maybe housing or food stamp. But I had another vision. My vision was, how do we come here and fully integrate in the American society? Meaning, if my dream was to become a banker or a lawyer, how do I make that happen? So we did not have any organization, any platform that was focusing on that. So I took it on me to start the African Leadership Group with a vision to help facilitate the professional integration of African immigrants through social, economic, and educational impact.
So it's really about opportunity.
It's all about opportunity.
Oh, boy, that is the American dream.
That's exactly right.
And part of why I'm so passionate about sharing people's stories is because I think it's slipping away a bit, and we need to hear the stories of success and the hard work and determination that Papa D is such a big part of your story, and it's part of my story. And with a lot of work and a lot of love and a lot of vision and a little bit of luck, right?
Yes, a little bit of luck, but also connecting with the right people. Because one thing I knew early on, Heidi, is for us to be fully integrated, we need to work with the local, the US-born citizen. Because alone, we can't do it. And that's why, as an organization, we are very, very inclusive. If I sit here today in front of you having this conversation with you, a lot of people have helped me. And most of those people are American-born US citizens. I think it's up to us, and that's why I love what you're doing, to create a platform that no matter what our background, no matter what the color of our skin, we all have to come together for the sake of human being. Because good people come in different shape, in different color, with different backgrounds. So that's why I love what you're doing, because I think the more we can create that table and having that conversation and learning from each other and sharing each other's story, the more that we'll live in a better place.
Boy, that's bingo. I think you need to host this podcast, Papadia.
Thank you, Heidi.
We might have an opening. I don't know. At least I need some guest hosts. Because really, it is through people's stories, right? And sharing our love of Colorado that maybe we can get past this divide right now and, you know, just get to know each other as human beings, not behind a screen, I think is part of the problem right now. And COVID didn't help that. But tell us a little bit about what African Leadership Group is up to right now and how we can help you and support you in your work.
Yes. So the African Leadership Group, we are an organization that's driven by the community. It's the typical grassroots organization that you will find led by the community itself. So right now we have 11 committees from Leadership Africa, from public speaking class, health and wellness, from financial and literacy, home ownership. And all those committees have community members that have background and expertise in that area, and that's helping. But something that we have that's extremely excited going on is Africa Impact. And this year is the 6th edition that we are celebrating that. And Africa Impact started all by the fact that we as African immigrants, we pay taxes, we create employment, and quite often nobody knows about it and nobody talk about it. So we took it on us and say, look, we're going to create Africa Impact, which is the concept where we're going to celebrate proudly and loudly the impact we have in the state of Colorado. And we were very honored that for the last 2 years, the governor has issued an honorary proclamation to make the month of August the African Immigrant Month.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So every August we celebrate it. We are getting ready to kick it off this year on August 7, where we have different event and program throughout the month of August. And we are doing that in partnership and collaboration with a lot of local organization here in the state of Colorado, like yours, yourself, and other organizations, because the celebration is not only about African, it's about the entire state of Colorado.
Yeah, and about the American dream and opportunity.
Exactly, yep.
And gosh, I'm so excited about this. Tell us a little bit about the actual activities of the month.
Yes. So we are kicking it off with a cultural day celebration on August 7, Saturday, August 7 at the Levitt Pavilion, Denver. And what's very interesting about this is we are bringing an international artist all the way from Africa. And we have international food vendors from Africa, Mexico, Germany. If you like food and you want to taste international food, that will be the place to be. Wait a sec.
Did you just say, do we like food?
Well,
I don't know anybody listening to this podcast that's going to say no, but that sounds fantastic.
Yeah, that will be the place to be. And another piece that's extremely important, Heidi, is we are coming together with a play. And because this year's theme, Africa Impact, is standing taller and prouder than ever. Why? Because we came off a very difficult year and a half because of the pandemic. But also the reality is we also came up with a very political, divisive environment. It doesn't matter that you are a Republican, you are a Democrat. It's all about bringing the entire community together around things that we care about. So that's why we decided to have a theme. You know what? Let's stand taller together and let's all be proud of being American together and celebrate it together. So the play is really what the American dream is about. So we're going to showcase the African history, showcase how slavery started in Africa, to showcase how the black community overcome all the things that they overcame, but to finish it what America is, which is a melting pot, having actors, Asian, Caucasian, all coming together to show that this is what America is about. This is a land of opportunity that people from different background, different ethnicity come together and celebrate the American dream.
And so when's the play and how do people get tickets if they want to come?
Yes, people can visit our website, usalg.org, to make your reservation. And actually the concert is free. Come and celebrate. Go and RSVP because the seats are being gone very fast.
So, Papadia, how do people follow you on social media also if they want to do that?
Yes. So you can follow us on social media through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
If the list goes on and
on. The list going and on. Because we have young
TikTok yet?
That's something that I'm struggling with, Heidi. So
Me
TikTok,
too, me too.
I'm not there yet. So my kids are bugging me, Daddy, you got to do TikTok video. I said, I'm not there. Let me get comfortable with all. But people can look us up, African Leadership Group Colorado, on all the social media, and you can follow us there.
Papa Dio, you mentioned your kids. How many kids do you have?
I have 3 girls, and 15, 13, and 7 years old, and they are the boss, actually. They tell me what to do and where to be at all time.
I have 3 girls and a boy, and definitely poor Jack. He doesn't get a word in edgewise.
That's exactly right. So between the summer activities and school and all these things, but we are managing. But they are very, very involved also in the community and the work we do.
I was going to say, are they going to take the helm of the organization at some point and run with it?
Well,
Let you retire at some day?
They're putting me to retirement sooner than I expected, because we also have a youth program, and when you come, you will see that we have a day that we are celebrating our kids also on August 9. And they also have the Shark Tank. They also have the kids fashion show. So they're very involved, and our future is in good hands for sure.
Well, I'm for sure going to bring my kids and celebrate. And I'm really excited about this. I hope the community will show up in droves. It sounds like you're going to sell out anyway, but let's spread the word and let's celebrate the amazing organization you've built and the community you've built and the American dream all at the same time.
Yes, thank you, Heidi. And I really want to give a shout out to all our funders that are supporting the work we are doing. And the Denver Botanic Garden, that's where we're going to be having the gala on August 13. Again, visit the website USALG to get your ticket. And the Denver Botanic Garden has been a great partner and supporter. We're having a concert at the Arvada Center on August 26th also. Okay. So they are a great partner. So the point that we really want to highlight is not one single community can be strong standing by itself. We all need to collaborate and really join hands to really elevate, because I think that we have the chance to live in one of the most beautiful states in the United States, which is Colorado. We have the sun throughout the year. It's beautiful, it's outdoor, and we have amazing people. Because anytime that people go to New York, they come back and tell me, wow, it's very different, fast paced. But in Colorado, people walk by you and they greet you, they welcome you. So I'm very excited to have the opportunity to be here. But we want to bring our contribution to really create a platform where people that are not from Africa can learn about the African culture, and vice versa. Because I believe that by nature, human beings are good people. Sometimes we just don't know. And it's up to us to create a platform that we can learn from each other and celebrate each other as well.
Yeah, and I think that's such a good message for our children too right now, coming out of COVID and getting back into building relationships and community, and just celebrating being humans and loving each other and building each other up instead of tearing each other down.
Yeah, and Heidi, you're doing your part, because you are going to some of the places in Colorado that nobody ever heard of, nobody like, to some of these places that I've never been, and to really go there to celebrate these people. And thank you so much for your contribution, because that's very, very important. It's very important to visit these places and knowing that, you know what, I'm not familiar with them, but I'm going to go and learn. Yeah. I'm going to go and celebrate and bring it to your viewers. So thank you so much for what you're doing, and I hope that you're going to be doing it for a long time.
I hope so. I might need some guest hosts along the way. So, Papa D, I always end with a couple questions.
Yes.
One of which is, I think you might have answered it a little bit about the New York kind of experience, but when people ask you why you love Colorado or live here, what do you say?
You know, being an African, I love the sun. I just love the fact here we have the sun throughout the year. I like, even though I don't ski, but my first experience dealing with activities in the mountain, I did snowshoeing, which was different. That's a
lot of work.
That's a lot of work. So my friend talked to me into it, and the next week I was in bed. I couldn't even move. But I just love the mountain. I love the fact that wherever you are in Colorado, you can still see the mountain. And I'm very excited now that I get a chance to, when we do African Impact, we have a lot of international guests that come from overseas to show them around. And since I've been here, I've helped a lot of people move to Colorado because it's just a beautiful place. So love the sun, love the outdoor activity, love the people as well.
So you're like our honorary head of tourism in Colorado, or like relocation services.
Relocation. People love it. People love it. And there's a lot of opportunity when it comes to employment. People are just very kind and very open.
Yeah.
And it makes a difference.
I agree. And as I travel the state, I'm reminded of that. And it's, you get so busy in Denver and things are so intense and you're usually in a big group of people. And when you get out to rural Colorado and you have a conversation one-on-one with a rancher or someone who runs a local beer pub in Greeley, whatever it is, it's just people have a great heart here.
Yes, they do.
And they really do all share a love of Colorado, different ways, different perspectives. But final question, what is the most Colorado thing you've ever done?
The most Colorado thing that I've ever done, I would say maybe ride a horse. I think that you try to be.
That's a good one. I haven't heard that yet.
Try to be a cowboy for a few minutes, and so I have a friend of mine that own a farm and have a few horses, and I think that's the most Colorado thing that I've ever done.
Did you fall off?
No, I did not, but I did not last long. So it was just a couple of minutes, and I jump up very quick.
That's fun.
But it was fun. It was fun.
Well, thank you so much, Papa, for being with us and for telling us about all the exciting things you're doing in August and celebrating. And anyone who wants to support your organization, we'll list the website with the podcast. And, of course, we'd love to have you on again soon.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. And I just want to have a last message that's very dear to my heart, Heidi, because I've traveled around the world. I've been to a lot of places. And my story is only possible in this great country, the American dream. And to be in a place where people embrace you, people allow you to be yourself, people give you opportunity, it only exists in the United States of America. So I'm very grateful to this culture. I'm very grateful to the US-born citizen that really makes space and allow people from other country to call this country home. And we couldn't do it without them, their openness, their kindness. So I just wanted to have that message out there that I'm grateful and my entire community is grateful. And thank you so much for everything they do every single day to allow us to be successful.
You made me cry, Papa, but we're grateful for you too. And you're the type of sunshine that brings us light and hope in our community. And keep up the great work.
Thank you, Heidi, for having us.
Thank you for joining us today on Heidi's Colorful Colorado. If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. And definitely follow me on Instagram to keep up with my latest adventures. In the meantime, happy trails from me, Heidi Ganal.